You know, in working with neurodiverse couples, it's often the case that, especially when the couples are trying to problem solve some relationship difficulty, the ASD husband will operate almost totally on logic, and the NT wife will operate almost totally on emotion. You never want to do that, ever. Both of them cause problems, especially when one is wired 180 degrees opposite as the other. So you were born with two brains, in a sense, logical brain and emotional brain. You're supposed to use both, and you want to use both. So it's not a question of whether one is better than the other. You need both of them, and you use both of them all the time. But you want to think in terms of percentages. In other words, when do I want to use my logical brain 50% of the time and my emotional brain 50%? When should it be more like 60-40%? When should it be more like 80% and 20%? When should what cases would I want to use my logical brain 90% of the time and in the same moment use my emotional part only 10%? Well, that's the question you need to answer is, which one do I want to use the most given the situation? I'll come up with some bizarre examples. Let's say that you're in a crisis where it's life or death, and you got to move fast or you may die. In that case, you would want to be operating a good 95% on logic and hardly any emotion at all. It's like, okay, I got to think real clearly because I got to get the hell out of here or we might die. That's a good time to shut the emotions off. Let's go on the other end of the spectrum. Let's say that you have a beloved family member who's going through some grief, and this person that you love very dearly is grief-stricken in the moment, and they come to you to tell you what's going on. You want to be operating on a good 95% emotion then, so you can give this person a lot of moral support and empathy, compassion, love, caring, and help them through their grief. So I know those are two extreme examples, but that illustrates the point that what you want to be thinking about is you want to get good at, okay, given the situation, should I be operating mostly on logic or mostly on emotion given this particular situation? And think in those terms. There's been times where the guy has operated totally on logic and it backfired big league. There's been times where the NT wife operated totally on emotion and it backfired big league. So think in terms of percentages. I never want to operate 100% on logic and 0% emotion or the other way around. You want to combine the two somehow. And given the situation, you want to go heavy on one and lighter on the other. Sometimes it might be 50-50, okay? So something to think about.